Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are coming from. I wanted to do a video today, or today's lesson, on the correlation between physical subliminals, or the physical body, and the subconscious mind. And as I received my request about 100 and something subliminals it was for physical results. It was for a physical subliminal. And I had spent 100 and something subliminals all on self-improvement on the inside. And I wanted to apologize real quick. I am currently in the process of producing and creating customized posters that are going to be behind me as a background, or as a little bit of a studio background for my videos going forward, now that we're transitioning from Facebook to YouTube. So I apologize for the unprofessionalism. I thought this was kind of cool though. I haven't really seen this in a lot of YouTube videos, although I couldn't quite angle it to where, you know, this was just the entire background. You get my little tree, miniature tree in the background too there. Anyways, I wanted to dive in between the correlation between our subconscious and physical body. And you all understand, or all of you regulars, that energy is all that there is. Everything is vibrating on a frequency. Energy is all that there is. When you stare at the back of somebody's head, they'll turn around without you even touching them. During the space landing, they would communicate telepathically without even physically ever touching each other or physically talking. When you think about somebody, a lot of times they'll call or text you. Me and Paola, we've been in a relationship, we're coming up on 4 months, and through a lot of, other bonding activities, we a lot of times read each other's minds 2 or 3 times a day. And I can think of somebody and fall asleep that I haven't talked to in years, and they'll text me right away 100% of the time. And where your focus goes, energy flows, right? We all understand this. This is more basic. But for all of you new people, I wanted to elaborate or review a little bit all of this. And there was a scientist by the name of Claude Shannon who discovered computer coding bits and strings of ones and zeros in all of the fabrics of life. And we understand scientifically that all of life vibrates on 528 hertz, which different scientists transmitted down into oil-spilled water in the ocean, and the very next day, sea life returned. And when the skeptics showed up, they scientifically tested the water, the parts per million, and they were dumbfounded. It was the truth. Same vibration of 528 hertz that John Lennon wanted to put in his music before, boom. Same 528 hertz that scientifically vibrates through all of life, that in 4 years, 1 billion people have meditated to. You can read through some of the comments. You don't need to do no scientific studies, just read through the comments yourself. Common sense is not that common anymore, but this is why I wanted to do the review real quick. And this is the review. Right? Energy is all that there is. Your body is a molecular structure that vibrates accordingly to your thoughts. Your thoughts create the neural pathways in your brain. Let me repeat that. Your physical thoughts create the neural pathways in your brain. Your thoughts create the physical world. Therefore, we understand the Creator, the One, the God, whatever you want to call it, the unadulterated Creator, made all of Earth through thought and the vibration of love that it still vibrates on. The frequency of 528 hertz combined with the thoughts of the Creator made planet Earth. And you scientifically understand why now. I say this so loudly with so much passion because if this doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. This video is going to be life-changing, and it's going into our subliminal lessons. I might even pay YouTube to advertise it. This is groundbreaking. This is the groundbreaking era that we're in, guys. If this first 5 minutes didn't get you excited, then I don't know what will. let's dive into the lesson. Let's dive deep. I want you to understand this. One of the posters I'm going to get is going to say, any fool can know, but a wise man understands. It's going to be one of the posters. So let's dive deep for we understand, right? Your paradigms, or I like to use the word algorithms, that are your subconscious mind's thoughts. Now, you all have your thoughts, right? I don't want to know what some of you are thinking about. A little bit of humor and sarcasm. But your subconscious mind has 55,000 to 100,000 thoughts a day. 55,000 to 100,000 thoughts a day. We understand this factually. Some experts would even say 150,000 thoughts a day that are arising, obviously depending on what you're doing throughout your day. Now, these are all built from your paradigms. Now, if your body, as we discussed, your body is a molecular structure that's vibrating accordingly to your subconscious paradigms, or I like to use algorithms. And the reason I like to use the word algorithms is because, as I told you, Claude Shannon discovered zeros and ones. It's kind of creepy, like the Matrix, in all of life. So that's why I like to use the word algorithms, because it's your paradigms. The technical psychological term that psychologists use is, sometimes I speak too fast. I just get so excited about this. Psychologists use the word paradigms, but this is why I use the word algorithms. The deep programming. Anybody can tell you what's on their Facebook feed, but how many of you can tell me, or explain to us the algorithms of, aka computer coding of Facebook, not just your Facebook feed? So your algorithms, or your subconscious paradigms, are what dictate what's going to happen in your molecular structure. So I need all of you right now, just like as if you were, back in, I don't know, preschool or high school, whatever you used to daydream. And just stop with your imaginations and just imagine that all of me right now and all of what's around you and behind me is literally exactly what it is, energy. And just focus with your mind and let your mind just raise to, higher thoughts and a higher emotionally state of being. And let your emotions or your vibration, energy, whatever word you want to use, just go up a little bit. And your body, right, is a molecular structure. It's just all energy. The physical world is an illusion. This is why when you discover yourself on the inside, you start to live on the inside and you let go of all of the world. Your body, as I mentioned, is a molecular structure that's vibrating accordingly to your subconscious algorithms. Now, this lesson, everything I've taught you in these first 8 minutes, give or take, is understood by the few families that legally own all of the news and media. The same families that legally have a lot of gold in their name and their massive, sickening, large mansions. And that same families that legally own all of the health boards in the world. How convenient. And they own also, by the way, legally all of the dark pharmaceutical companies. And I understand that when we don't say legally and we start pulling out the legal documents, a lot of, people are just like, yeah, that's conspiracies. So I'm very careful when I teach this that we use the right terms and we introduce this the right way, because a lot of people don't understand. We need to make sure we're very delicate when we introduce this. And thankfully, compared to 2011, we have at least half of humanity now that's starting to understand this. It's a little slow, but we're getting there, and I'm grateful for that. Now, this one family, my point is, I don't want to get into a debate or anything like that. My point is, this one family that legally owns all of that, why do they put on the nightly news over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, every single night? Why do they put these health problems, these health issues, these health diseases all over the nightly news that they own, while they own the health organizations and they own the pharmaceutical companies? Why do these psychopathic, power-hungry families or family that works with other families, why do they do this? Because they understand everything I taught you just now, and they want to replicate and replicate, because repetition is the key. The subconscious mind cannot differentiate between fact and fiction. So whatever you replicate over time, unless if there is conscious resistance. Now, if whatever you're listening to me on right now, you're hearing me speak, you're listening to and processing on your conscious mind. Now, this is why it's very scary, but also very important for you to stop reacting to life and being thrown around by life. You need to stop, think, and respond. You have the ability to think and say, that's not who I am. You have the ability to stop and think and respond to life. And if you can consciously think, you can reject, aka build resistance to where your subconscious mind is not so, easy to delude and change and put all of these diseases and problems that the nightly news owned by these few families want to harvest and build into your physical body. Now, little fun little section of this lesson. You were created by thoughts. The subconscious of your mom, the subconscious of your dad. I already explained to you why this is. Your thoughts then formulated you as the person that you are. Therefore, this is why a lot of health issues are inherited until they're broken down. Now, we are all born, though. We are all born. Before, our parents start to, really reinforce or let me go back a little bit, okay? We are all born a perfect 400 trillion to 1 miracle. You are born perfect. It's when your parents, when you are a child, introduce and put these health problems in your subconscious mind, followed by these families, that they start to manifest. And your resistance to them is going to be a lot less if your mom and dad already had the subconscious belief deeply planted in their subconscious mind. Now, this is where, though, you are born a 400 trillion to 1 miracle. You are completely unique and different than your parents. It's just that your environment or your parents, paradigms through repetition built inside of your subconscious mind, which is very dangerous for a lot of us, or can be very good for a lot of us. And for all of you parents, we need to be very careful what you're putting. You need to really support and draw out and help your child discover their own uniqueness, their own superpowers, right? When you are a kid or a child, though, your subconscious mind has all of these healthy and our natural state of being. Your natural state of being, your natural paradigms that you are born with, or your algorithms, are all healthy. They're all strong. They're all fast. They're all energetic. They're all alive. What happens is over time, when you work out and imagine this is a dumbbell and you're curling that dumbbell, right? What you're doing is the one of the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of paradigms that are vibrating your molecular structure. What you're doing is you're crushing and you're testing that paradigm, and you break it apart, right? You test the strength. Now the paradigm or the algorithm is going to withhold. It's going to stand, right? That's the beautiful thing of life, right? Just like this tree, right? Life is going to hold. Your paradigm is going to hold that you are healthy, you are strong, because you were born a 400 trillion to 1 miracle. Of course you can withstand a little dumbbell curl, right? A little bench press. But it's going to test. It's going to test that paradigm. And it's going to overcome it, and your paradigm is going to grow back stronger, right? And you're going to get closer, or a step closer, to the perfection that we were all born on. By the time you reach your 70s or your 60s, these few families wanted all of the masses to believe that it was time for them to get all of these health problems that they had, planted in their subconscious minds, or the paradigms that they had built, either through the nightly news commercials that they owed, or just the masses. So by the time they were in their 60s and 70s, they were already, people were messes. The baby boomers were a huge mess, right? Unfortunately, I'm not insulting them, right? Health-wise, it was a huge mess. But now, with all of the internet and YouTube and, all of people starting to wake up, that's why the health and wellness industry is a $1 trillion industry. Naturopaths are a multi-billion-dollar industry. We now have 60 and 70-year-olds that are starting to believe in their subconscious mind and keep the strength of their paradigms that you were born with, or they were born with, strong, to where we now have 60 and 70-year-olds still working out at the gym perfectly fine. And can you imagine, oh my God, can you imagine when all of the 20, 30, and even 40-year-olds that are listening to our subliminals right now and actually understand all of this, they're going to alliterate and keep their paradigms and their algorithms strong and reborn new paradigms, new algorithms that are going to allow their body to, or their molecular structure, to keep resisting and keep refreshing and keep regenerating to where we will live forever. And we've cured diseases all around the world, millions of dollars in diseases, all through this. This is how the subconscious mind works. And when you write subliminals, you have to understand how to talk to the subconscious mind. It's very, very delicate. There are systems and operations that I could turn this into a 17-hour and, 17-day, or it would be long. I was looking at the time of this video. But literally though, no, it would be at least, I would say at least a semester of teaching just how you talk and communicate with the subconscious mind, and it would be on a very advanced level. So if you struggled with calculus or biology or chemistry, you might struggle in the one semester course. But this lesson, I am making this very understandable to anybody, even a child or some childs maybe. There are children speaking 4 or 5 languages before they're even 13. It's because of this. This is how the subconscious mind and the mind works. This is how we have 3 or 4-year-olds, learning 2 or 3 languages. This is how we have 3-year-olds reading books. The mind and the subconscious mind is something we all have, we're all born with. And I'm very grateful we have teenagers listening to our subliminals. Now this is your molecular structure that's vibrating accordingly to your thoughts works just like this. And this is why I truly believe we're going to have the first people in our lifetime that live forever. Now if you could communicate with your subconscious mind over time and have the understanding of the subconscious mind in all of life, in a sense, if your physical body were to die, if you are within a certain time frame, your subconscious mind therefore could heal and regenerate at the speed of light, literally, because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between fact or fiction. It just does whatever it's been repetited on and still understands you could be reborn. This is the science behind all of it. This is the era that we're now moving into, and it's very empowering for not just me, but all of the people of the world. We're carrying millions of dollars worth of diseases in just our first year. In the first 4 or 5 months was just getting a foundation set up. Now we have a foundation. Facebook took away the house we built. They're lost, right? Not just their loss, but it says a lot about who they are as a company. So we're gonna take our house, move it over to YouTube, and we're gonna keep making subliminals. We're gonna go for tens of millions and then hundreds of millions over the next 5-10 years. This is the subconscious mind and the physical body. This is how it all works. And It's when people don't understand this and their conscious mind starts to create doubt then, because doubt is ignorance, right? Doubt and worry come from mental ignorance, and that creates a lot of resistance to the subliminals. But when you understand all of this, you can see subliminal results a lot faster. Physical results. Go watch the other lessons, right? How to boost your results, how to listen to subliminals while you're asleep. If you listen to subliminals while you are asleep, if you're not a light sleeper, then you will see results like that are way, 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 way bigger if you listen to subliminals while you're asleep. Now, I'm a light sleeper, and some of us other people are light sleepers. We don't get that blessing. But I do put in sleep triggers in the affirmations or the coding of the subliminals. I do put that inside the coding, so you don't have to worry too much. But if you can listen while you're asleep, it will help. Okay, sorry for all you light sleepers. There's no way out of it. I love all of you. This is the subconscious mind and the physical body, which is merely an illusion that, just like the mirror, we can change at will with our free will. It's only free when you discover yourself on the inside. But when you discover yourself on the inside and you start living in absolute truth, you're then able to, with your free will, change whatever you want. Now, I don't care about the physical appearance. I don't care about people's physical body. And as you get older and older, or wiser and wiser and older on the inside, you start to realize this, and you start to grow and want to improve yourself, especially after you discover yourself. And you start to then focus on other people, on what they truly are, which is a soul. So don't get lost in this. Get lost on the inside. I love all of you. This is the mind and the physical body. Or subconscious mind and the physical body.